Before I begin this editorial on Destiny, I am very much hoping that anyone who watches this video is doing well and that their family, friends and acquaintances are also doing well in the ongoing pandemic that we are facing. Although there is much hope for the new vaccines to be introduced in the near future, please ensure that you stay safe this holiday season. Originally I had planned to make a review of Destiny 2, but as with Fallout 76, it became clear that even though I could have made a review, it would be unable to reflect everything I had to say about Destiny as an experience that this reviewer has had ever since the original was released in 2014. Destiny is an enigma, and not in the same way as Wipeout, but in its own maddening and frustrating way. To be involved with Destiny is the gaming equivalent to being involved in a bad relationship, where you are constantly being pushed and pulled between the good and the truly awful. In as many ways as Destiny should never have commanded the popularity it has had, it has also proffered as many reasons as to why it richly deserved them, and richly it certainly has. When Destiny was originally released, it fell far from the vision that I had for the game. The previews for the game seemed to suggest it a game more akin to a first-person shooter Mass Effect, with many worlds and places to discover, draped in a role-playing story about heroes saving humanity. Despite Bungie claiming that they were making a clear departure from Halo, their juggernaut franchise, what we actually got was, well, Halo with what has now become known as light role-playing game mechanics, or the light version of a massive multiplayer role-playing game. A fizzy drink with all of the punch taken out of it. Destiny at launch was, well, it didn't launch, it fell over on the launch pad, a mismatch of disparate pieces, a fantastical story that was trying to say too much but ended up saying so little and not making much sense whatsoever. Yet, there was something about it, that wondrous gameplay, the feeling of motion and that ability to hoverglide through the environment, the ability to have a speeder bike and the ships that you could admire in the orbital loading screens. The music, the incredible music, composed by Marty O'Donnell, Michael Salvatore, C. Paul Johnson and Sir Paul McCartney. It all merged to create a very unique atmosphere that Destiny still retains to this day. Destiny has a distinct individuality that no other game mimics. Destiny 2, though, is something else. After effectively throwing all of the time and effort of the millions of players of Destiny back in their faces by creating Destiny 2 in the first place, Destiny 2 feels different. It had an excellent story-driven introduction. It has better gameplay mechanics, better menus, a fast travel system, lots of new weapons and armor, and had lots of wonderful new environments to explore. It still has excellent music, and it should all feel like an extension of Destiny, but it doesn't. It feels separate and distant, and that's because we all know that Destiny 2's content should have been continuous expansions to Destiny. Now I know what you might be thinking, but they couldn't do that because they have new gameplay mechanics and systems and blah blah blah. Really? World of Warcraft has been continually changing its gameplay mechanics and systems for years, and you don't see a World of Warcraft 2. The separation of Bungie from Activision was for many a hopeful sign, as many believed that Bungie was under the thumb of Activision's notorious predatory money-making systems. Eververse, anyone? The move to the free-to-play model has firmly removed that veil from this reviewer's eyes, as once again Bungie has taken players' money, those who paid for Destiny 2 and its 3 expansions, and created a free-to-play version that is a bare-bones version of a game. Think that Activision is responsible for season passes? Well, take a look at Destiny 2's season pass system. It's a mirror image. With the release of Beyond Light, Bungie has also cut so much content from the game that it is almost unfathomable. Is there new content? Yes, but it doesn't even come close to what has been cut. At this juncture, I would like to refer you to a video by Darkside Royalty and his review of Beyond Light entitled Destiny 2 Beyond Disappointing. It is an extremely good critique and mirrors a lot of what I personally think about Beyond Light, the new expansion for Destiny 2. Destiny 2 isn't an awful playing experience at all. If you like going around the environments and maybe building reputations, unlocking triumphs, but it's a very strange thing that going back to play the original Destiny in its complete form with Rise of Iron, I felt happier. Destiny has so much more to it. It's harder, more challenging, and ultimately more rewarding. What is perturbing is that if you play both Destiny and Destiny 2, then overall this feels like the experience that Destiny should be. What happens with Destiny 2 next is going to be pivotal, as I can testify that there are many players playing the original, players who were playing Destiny 2, who most probably are still playing Destiny 2 too, but have gone back to a game that is now 6 years old because Destiny 2 isn't providing them with enough. Perhaps, unfortunately, Destiny has had its time in the sun. I sincerely hope not, but in order for it to be a serious, viable contender going into this new generation, Bungie needs to do something large and expansive and not expect players to fork out more and more for less and less. After all, endings are beginnings.